Marcus had been working double shifts at the hospital cafeteria for 3 years straight, barely keeping his head above water since his wife left. And on the night everything changed. He was simply lost, a man carrying a bowl of soup through the wrong corridor on the wrong floor, holding a meal meant for a patient in room 412, but somehow pushing open the door to room 214 instead. The woman inside looked small against the white sheets. Her silver hair fanned out across the pillow, oxygen tubes running beneath her nose, monitors beeping softly beside her. And when Marcus realized his mistake, he stepped back to apologize, but she had already opened her eyes and was watching him with an expression he couldn't read, something between amusement and curiosity. "I'm so sorry, Mum, wrong room," he said quickly, but she raised one thin hand and said, "Stay, please, just for a moment." So he stayed, because he was raised to never refuse an elderly person, and because something in her voice sounded unbearably lonely. Her name was Eleanor. She didn't offer a last name, and she said she hadn't had real company in 6 days. Only doctors who spoke to her chart and nurses who spoke to her condition, and something about Marcus standing there in his worn-out uniform holding a bowl of soup made her feel like a human being again. He sat beside her and they talked for 40 minutes about everything. His daughter Lily's obsession with drawing horses, the way morning light hit the city differently in winter, what it meant to feel proud of small things. And when the head nurse appeared in the doorway and called Marcus back firmly, Eleanor caught his wrist and told him to come back if he ever could, just to talk. He returned the next 2 evenings, because he couldn't explain why, but it felt like the right thing. And on the 3rd evening, Eleanor's room was empty, the bed stripped clean, and his chest dropped with a grief that confused him entirely. 2 weeks later, a man in a suit arrived at the cafeteria, asking for Marcus by name, introduced himself as the personal attorney of Eleanor Voss. And Marcus stood there holding a mop, not recognizing the name until the attorney said she had been the founder of Voss Medical Holdings, one of the largest private healthcare networks in the country, and she had quietly passed 4 days ago, but not before changing her will. Eleanor had left a trust fund for Lily's education, fully funded through university, and had arranged a position for Marcus in hospital management training, paid entirely, beginning whenever he was ready, along with a letter she had written herself in shaking handwriting that said, "You treated me like a person when I'd forgotten I still was one. That is the rarest kind of wealth, and you gave it freely. I am only returning it." Marcus read the letter 3 times in the break room, crying in a way he hadn't since his daughter was born, understanding finally that kindness never disappears. It only takes time to find its way back home. If this story moved you, please like, share, and subscribe to the Hidden Channel. And don't forget to hit the notification bell, so you never miss a story that reminds you what truly matters.